All right, guys, let's read this. October 6th, 1944. So this is about 2.5 weeks since our last chapter. Mother told me not to do. Mother told me not to. She told me it would just make things worse. But for some reason, I can't help it. I go up to the bashta and wait until it pulls away. Today's the fourth time I'm doing this. 2 days ago, I was probably up here for a couple of hours. But today it looks like they're more organized because here it comes 17 cars long. The whole thing rattling and squeaking on the rails as it rolls out of the camp to wherever exactly all these trains keep going. To the east, to the place where people write postcards with the letters slanting down. The fifth transport in 10 days, almost 10,000 people altogether. And I watched from up here because the one time I saw it from up close, the day Franta left, I knew I would never do that again. After I hugged him for the fifth time, after I watched him hug another dozen Nasharim for the fifth time, he headed for the train. He looked different that day. I don't know, he looked quiet. The doors of the wooden cars slid open, but there was nothing inside. Nowhere to sit, meaning the cars were just long, empty boxes on wheels. And then the guards, kicking and screaming, jammed as many people as possible in each one. More people than seemed possible, actually. Like the time 9 of us stuffed ourselves into the elevator back in Holosuvice, the day it got stuck, and Father made us take the stairs for a week. Nothing. Now today's train takes a turn, curving past some colorful trees and long gray buildings with 10 windows, all facing the tracks. We shouted goodbye to Franta one more time and watched him until he disappeared into a crowd of men, disappearing into the fourth box, where there would be nowhere to sit, and probably nowhere to go to the bathroom either. They'd all just have to stand there, like that, all crammed together, until they got to wherever they were going, which which was probably going to take a while because Poland, which is where everyone says these trains are going, I don't think it's close to here. Tutu and Brenna and Gustel are gone now. I even saw Inka, her beautiful red hair tied into a tight ponytail, on her way to the transport a couple of days ago. I went up to her and said, Bye, Inka, mostly because I had never had the guts before. She waved, even though we were only about 10 feet away from each other, and said, See you later, Misha, which almost made me happy because I always wondered if she actually knew my name. Gustav gone too. I haven't seen Marietta since. She goes to work and spends the rest of her day in bed, refusing to speak to anyone. Oh well. Trains Today's train is gone now too. Bye bye. Okay, time to go. So I head back down and walk through the camp, all the way to the Dresden barracks, where I'm staying for now. Terrazin's so quiet and so empty. When I got here almost 2 years ago, every street and sidewalk was like standing below the astronomical clock in the old town square when it's about to strike noon on a Sunday. People everywhere, but not anymore. No one plays under the wooden pavilion anymore. No one sits on one of the benches anymore. Somehow, all of this would be a little easier to take if the leaves weren't starting to fall off the trees and the air wasn't getting colder. But winter coming makes it all that much worse. The Danish men in the bakery, who for some reason weren't sent away when Franta was, they keep telling me and Tommy that this will all end soon. At least I think this is what they're saying. Every day I hear some new rumor about the Allies' progress and how badly the Germans are losing, but it's all secondhand gossip at best, so who knows? And anyway, how badly could the Germans be losing if they're still managing to organize all these trains out here? If things were really that bad for them, they'd forget about us altogether and concentrate on fighting the other armies. At least that's what I would do, because it's not like we're all that much of a threat or anything. I enter the barracks and head into my new room. Mother's hanging a wet skirt over the clothesline running between two bunks. By the time it dries, the thing will smell like it needs to be washed again. She looks at me like she wants to ask me where I was, like she wants to yell at me for not listening to her. But she knows there's no point, because what's she going to do? Send me to my room? I don't have one. Give me extra chores? I work like a dog for hours every day. Threaten me with some other punishment? Yeah, right. What could be worse than this? So I just go to my bed and lie down. I could read a book or something, but I know I won't be able to concentrate because there's only one thought going through my head over and over and over again. If these transports keep up like this, pretty soon I won't be watching from the Bashta. In fact, I won't be watching anything at all because from what I could tell, those cars didn't even have any windows. Actually, that's not the only thought going through my head, because there's this too. If you're willing to put too many people in a train car with nowhere to sit, in a train car without windows, well, then what does that mean? Would you do that if you're really taking people to someplace better? And what if Aunt Louise knew for certain what slanting down meant? And it is worse there. But worse how? And worse why? I mean, how is it even possible for everything to keep getting worse and worse for over 5 years now? When are things going to finally start getting better? What if they don't? All right. So you guys have a few different things for this one. You need to be taking notes in your novel study notebook. Okay. And then we also have a assessment on this chapter. All you're going to do is click on your exit ticket and you're going to just summarize this chapter. Okay. Remember, your audience doesn't know anything about the book. So you need to give a little bit of background information and then summarize the chapter. Okay. Don't need to go into great detail. I want you to really focus on just this chapter and summarizing it.